Hi, everybody. This is John and Mac back for day 10 of 31 Days of Horror. Today's theme, silly horror, which is its own bag of questions. But for that, there is only one film that I always pull out when I need to show somebody just absurd comedy in horror form, or with a horror theme, let's say. And that is Ernest Scared Stupid from 1991. I love Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, mind you. I almost picked that. I really did, but silly is Ernest.
Ernest P. Worrell,
is silly. So it's family friendly. Everybody can watch it. It's hilarious. It's way funnier than it needs to be. For a kids movie, I always thought Ernest was great.
Yep.
But as I've aged, I don't think he's less fun. His stuff is less funny. I mean, his later work wasn't great. Let's not get into that. But like, when he was on. And Ernest Scared Stupid is arguably his best film. I also need to point out something I love. Everybody knows it at this point, but it's a fun little factoid. They use the models, the heads for the masks for the trolls or goblins in Ernest Scared Stupid. They are trolls. They're reused from the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So several of the trolls, you'll look at and be like, that looks familiar. It's one of the clowns from the heads of one of the clowns from Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which into itself is a great silly horror.
Yes.
So it's layers of silliness, and I love it to death. Slapstick horror, comedy at all points. Eartha Kitt is in it. I love this. I love the movie.
And does it? It's been a while since I've seen it, but it does have those two security guards where they're both fairly old. One's kind of
they're recurring characters for Ernest movies.
The skinny guy never fails to crack me up.
He's the straight man who doesn't talk. They're just Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all they are. So, but still love the film. What do you got?
Originally, I was going to go with Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which for me was kind of too obvious.
You just realized that most of the people listening to this weren't even born in the century that was made.
Nope, and neither was I. So, but no, instead...
That's not true, by the way. It's not that old, but still.
But no, I kind of went with one that is more... It's for the Italian horror fans. Imagine if Mad Magazine just threw the script for Dawn of the Dead and for Apocalypse Now in a blender. They added the music of Goblin. It's Bruno Mattei's Hell of the Living Dead.
For silly?
Yes!
Bruno Mattei? Yes! Okay, I laugh at it. I'm not going to tell you that, but I don't think Bruno thought it was silly. There's a zombie infected creature person covered in radiation. I don't know what's happening, but they're killing people.
But it's just so ridiculous with the characters, with the SWAT team. It's like, these are not the people you would send on this kind of mission.
They shoot the kid.
Yeah.
And they slowly figure out that chest shots aren't doing it, so one of them shoots him in the head and like, oh, okay, I figured it out. Which, by the way, I still, to this day, is my favorite discovering how to kill a zombie in film history. I love that film. You know I love that film. I just would never classify it as silly.
But the execution of it is
I'm not going to show it to a 10-year-old and be like, this is funny and silly.
Well, there is a category later on for that. But
that's true. That is true. That is very
but
true.
no, the silly scares, it just does not take itself seriously. No. Bruno, even in an interview, Bruno Mattei said, the way I make movies is the way a cartoonist would. And
that's true. That it is absurd. It is absurd. I will definitely say that. But if you've never seen it, it's a bad movie. Grab some friends, grab some alcohol. If you're in a cool state, grab some weed, and just give it a watch. It's a lot of fun. It's got gore, it's got nudity, it's got bad dubbing and stolen songs. It's great.
Stock footage from a non-related documentary.
Yep.
So this one, if you riff like we do at Time Clip Films, you'll have a ball with this one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And in fact, Riff Tracks did do a riff for this.
Yes, they did. So, yes, they did. Yep. So there you go. If you don't want to riff it yourself, you can have the professionals do it.
All right, so those are our selections for Silly Scares. That's day 10. For day 11, Nicolas Cage.
Oh, yes. Fantastic!
All right, so until then, this is Mackenzie Lambert.
And John Cleveland.
Take care, folks.
Have a nice one. Bye.